Hey there, everybody. Now, I've been making videos to share my stories about the visionary state experiences that I've been having growing up, and this is one that almost slipped my mind. Now, this is probably one of the earliest ones I can remember having, and just to give a time frame, we had moved to the Florida Keys from Port Huron, Michigan, late in '81, and I was 6 years old. And in the visionary state, my sister and I were walking home from my grandma's house, and we were going past the abandoned old gas station, and next to that there's like a little clump of pine trees where the homeless people would hang out, drink, or camp out. Okay, so this time we saw a bunch of guys standing over there, and my sister says, hey, let's go over there and talk to these guys. And I said, yeah, but I thought we weren't supposed to talk to strangers. She said, no, that's okay, let's go talk to them anyway. So we got over there. There had been about 6 or 7 of them, and long hair and long beards, but they weren't like your typical bums. These guys had on long robes, and they looked like something out of the Bible, you know. And the guy that spoke to me actually knew who I was, and he said that he says, we are friends of Jesus, and we are here to help you. And I was like, wow, really? So you know Jesus? And they said, well, yes. And I said, well, tell him I said hi. So that's all I can remember from that. That was pretty short, and so later on, when I started thinking about that time, I asked my sister, "Do you remember that time that we saw those guys dressed in robes and all that?" And nope, she doesn't remember. So that's a pretty good indication that I had gone into visionary state and met these people. And so since I'm sharing that story, I just wanted to point out that I'm not a very religious person. However, around the time that this happened, we had been going to Bible study with some kids we met there in the Florida Keys, and before that, we'd had some friends up the street that were dragging us off to church. So I think being exposed to Christian material is just that just kind of comes with being born in this country. That's just in our culture. So now I did get to the point where I was an atheist when I was 12 years old. I was like, I'm an atheist. There's no such thing as a God, and people that go to church are stupid. So, so I had to go through that phase, and just to explain that in my family, we're not like very religious people, and my dad particularly, actually, he hates the whole church thing. We didn't have like a lot of religion in our families, thankfully, but I know some people that grew up with religion become hard-nosed atheists because of it. And so like you start to have some bad experiences with religion. Like my dad would say is, the Bible is just one of the most horrible books ever written, and it's so evil and it's caused so much harm and da 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 da. But even then, even though he has those opinions, he still was willing to let us go to church or be invited to things like that and make up our own mind. And so that's why it's kind of interesting. Like nobody really pressured me to go to church or to be atheist. It was just really my own choosing to be atheist. And if I'm not atheist anymore, it's because as time has gone on, I've had colorful supernatural experiences that sort of prove that you are a soul or a mind that can exist inside of an avatar or a physical body, and can get outside of the physical body at times, and that's where you have your your visionary state experiences and things like that. Like for example, my grandmother flatlined, and she had a near-death experience. So like talking to her, for her that was proof. There's definitely a spirit around there. She was contacted by a being that may have been. She said it was called Jesus Michael, which sounds a little bit like what the Urantia book talks about, that Jesus' other name is Michael, so we might call him Jesus Michael. And other people have had experiences where they've been contacted by Jesus. So it is a colorful discussion as to like whether Jesus exists or not, and if he doesn't exist, then why do people see him when they feel that they're being contacted by the spiritual world? So it's definitely something I give a lot of thought to, and I want to make other videos about, whether God exists or not depends on our definition of God. Whether heaven exists or not depends on our definition of heaven, because, when we're talking about stuff like that, we're really talking about the greater nature of the universe, and it's really hard for us to perceive that and to study that from where we're at. But the higher scientists now, the people that are willing to delve into the strange stuff, are really starting to come up with the possibility that the universe works like a brain. It's like a neural network. It may, made me a living conscious thing, and that might be what we call God. But anyways, so that's kind of what my opinion is like whether God exists or not, whether Jesus exists or not. There's some component in the living universe or in our subconscious mind that communicates to us and says, "Hey, I'm Jesus," and they like to give us words of comfort. So maybe that's why I had to go into visionary state and have somebody say, "Hey, we're friends of Jesus, and we're trying to help you," because maybe I needed to hear those words of comfort a little later on. So, anyways, I thought I'd share this vision because it's probably the first time I can recall having a vision like that, and definitely be able to clarify that it has been a vision. But at the same time, it's odd because I'm not religious. So, anyways, I would like to think that shamanism is actually the root of all religion, and that some of the stuff I'm being put through is preparing me to for shamanism. So, shamanism is just maybe principles in nature pertaining to consciousness on every level, especially we're talking about the unknown, like higher reality and stuff. So, shamanism has to do with helping people expand their consciousness, expanding their awareness, so that way we can be more aware of all the stuff we consider to be otherworldly or unknown. And at some point, all this type of what we call paranormal or the unknown will be known, and what we call God or whatever will have a scientific explanation as to why why do we have this intuition. So I thought I'd share a little bit about my opinion on religion and how religious I am, just to say that I'm not very religious. But I hope you enjoyed this story, and I'll talk to you soon.